Welcome to Theater Corner. I'm your host, Michael Taylor. Theater Corner was created as an ongoing effort to promote more diverse interest and involvement in the theater scene. We're filming today's episode on location at the deeply inspiring Amazing Grace Conservatory in Los Angeles, California. AGC is an NAACP award-winning community-based nonprofit focusing on performing arts training and acting, voice, and dance for youth ages 5 to 18 from disadvantaged socioeconomic backgrounds. AGC is more than performing arts. It's a conduit for empowering young people and affecting change. In a few minutes, I'll sit down and chat with this institution's co-founder, executive director, and one of the most talented professional actresses in the entertainment industry, Wendy Raquel Robinson. Wendy is best known for her roles as the no-nonsense diva principal Regina Grier in the WB comedy sitcom Steve Harvey Show. Her groundbreaking role as a sexy and feisty sports manager, Tasha Mack, on the BET sitcom The Game, which in 2014 earned her an NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Actress in a Comedy Series. So, silence your cell phone, folks. You're about to enter Theater Corner. Wendy Raquel Robinson, thank you so much. You're welcome to be here at Theater Corner.
Thank you for having me, Michael.
I know you're busy. This is an extremely busy weekend, as a matter of fact.
Yes, it is. It's an exciting weekend.
We're here at the Amazing Grace Conservatory. What's making your weekend so busy is actually, this is a 20th anniversary. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is so awesome.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about this conservatory. Wow. There's a lot happening here.
And there's so much history. 20 years ago, my best friend and I, we were thought partners and we were passion partners, developing something that has really become, I want to say, a legacy in Los Angeles. And we put our heads and our hearts together. We were two struggling artists, and he was a Morehouse graduate, Tracy Lamar Coley, and I was a Howard graduate. And one thing about being out of HBCUs, they pumped your head up so big, it's like you can do everything. And I can't get an agent, I can't get a manager, I can't get a phone call or anything.
Wow.
And Tracy and I, we met during a stage play called No Place to Lay My Head. We ended up touring all around the national tour. And as the tour ended, he was like, so what are you gonna do? I said, well, I'm gonna get back out there, I'm gonna hit, At the time it was backstage, you had to go through all of the things to try and find agents and all of that. He was like, well, I'm working at Marta Gibbs Crossroads Academy. He was like, you can come, you could teach dance, you could teach acting. He was like, you wanna do it? I was like, sure. So I taught there for the summer, actually, and Marla ended up closing her doors. And I fell in love with a plethora of it had to have been maybe 75, 90 kids that we were teaching, and Marla actually gave us her blessing to do the Continuum.
Wow. So in the operation of it, when kids enroll, so you do 3 sessions a year.
Yes.
And it culminates with 2 productions.
3 productions.
3 productions.
Yes. I feel like we're always in rehearsal. I know, it's like, where are you? I'm in rehearsal. Yes. So each session, so right now we're in our fall semester, and that's a 12-week session. So all of the students, they get acting, voice, dance, spoken word, media arts. Wow. They get all of that. And the first 6 weeks are intensive training. After the 6 weeks, there is the audition process. Everyone doesn't make it to production. They have to earn their way after the evaluation of the audition. And then for the next 6 weeks, we're in rehearsal. So right now, we're in rehearsal for our fall production, Soulful Christmas, which is in December. And the spring is pretty much parallel to the fall. And then the summer, that's a Monday through Friday program for 7 weeks. And then that culminates in a showcase production.
Not that all kids make the production. I understand you do take you replicate what happens in the industry, actually.
Yes. because, you know, and whether they want to do this professionally, I just want them to have the wherewithal to understand that it's a business, so you have to put the work in. You don't just, oh, I showed up every week. It's like, no, you have to prepare for your audition. You get your sides, you get the script and you get the sides, and you have to do the preparation. So it really does mirror the industry completely. Yes.
And you are a nonprofit.
Yes, we are a 501c3.
So
yes.
If viewers want to donate, where would they go?
You know, and we welcome that. And it's not just to donate, but we have so many young people that are underserved that deserve scholarships and things like that. And we're also in the midst of our capital campaign, which I'll tell you about that later. But they can go to our website, amazinggraceconservatory.org. /donate. Yeah.
And no donation is too small, but no donation is too large.
Exactly. Okay. You got to dream big. Dream big. And we are really big dreamers. The space we're in now, we've only been here for about 9 years, and it was a move where I was really tested. You know, we had been leasing out of the 3rd floor of a church for like 13 years, and very comfortable on a month to month, but a little too comfortable. And they turned it into a charter school and gave us 6 weeks to move.
Wow.
How do you move 6 weeks of history of 13 years? And we had all our costumes and wardrobe and set pieces and office spaces and all of that. I didn't realize how expensive real estate is in California, commercial real estate.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, and I was really confronted with, do we continue on, and how do we continue on? And we couldn't afford to go from $1,500 a month to $10,000 a month. We just couldn't do it. Right. And at the time, I was in a very blessed position, and I put a big chunk down on where we are now. And it's home, and I feel like now we've outgrown it, so now we're working on our expansion.
And you're when you say you're growing, so you're having somewhere upwards of 300 students
annually. Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes.
And so your 20th anniversary celebration, how are you going about celebrating the 20 years?
Wow. So this is so interesting. So out of 20 years, we've never really had a gala. You know what I mean? Because we're always in production. So our productions are pretty much our fundraisers. And I did an episode of David Tutera's, it's called Celebrations. And what they do, they meet with a celebrity, and it's like, well, do you have a party or anniversary or a birthday coming up that you would like us to? They're huge event planners. And I said, no. I said, but I would love to do something from my conservatory. He was like, well, what? Tell us about it. So I told him about Amazing Grace Conservatory. They gave us a gala, but it was televised, and our audience really didn't have a chance to prepare for it. The kids did a couple of things, but it was kind of out of my hands. Anyway, there's a wonderful woman who works with them. Her name is Flomig Holloway, and she fell in love with the school. So 2 years later, she came back. She said, I want to give you guys a 20th anniversary. We call it an anniversary. And she was like, let me plan it. So we go from never having a gala to having a gala on steroids. And when I say we got Toyota to jump in as a sponsor, I don't want to give away too many surprises because you'll be there. But it's...
Oh, man.
It's that. Yeah, we transformed a warehouse space. Well, she did, because there's so many elements. I just came up with a lot of the concepts, the creative, and yeah.
I am excited.
I'm excited. I'm nervous, I'm excited. I don't like surprises, I'm a control freak, you know what I mean? The only element I can really control is, myself and what the kids are doing. And even with that and working with the production, it's just been a lot of moving parts. It's been a lot of moving parts, but they're moving great.
Well, absolutely. I love what you're doing here.
Thank you.
I love this space. I love the lives that you're transforming.
And they're helping me. Yeah. It's transformative work. When you work with kids, especially in the inner city, you have to be transparent. Right. They just fueled me up. It was like, Miss Wendy, and it was like, I don't have biological kids, but I have thousands of kids. Right, you know what I mean? And it's infectious. It really is.
Well, I wish you the best of luck into decades Maybe I'll come back for the 50th anniversary.
Well, hopefully we both will.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
It's that succession plan. Yeah, it's very important. Very important.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, Miss Wendy, the actress.
Switch reels. Yes.
You've done just countless television and film, but you started with theater, though.
Yes, I did.
How important is that? Starting for actors to start with theater.
Theater is everything. It's the holy grail. It's the foundation of everything, you know, as ballet is to dance.
True.
Theater is everything. And it's very interesting, you know, because I've been doing plays all my life, you know, and then I majored in theater when I went to Howard. And coming out here, you know, comedy was kind of second nature to me, you know.
You make it look so easy, though.
But, you know, it's actually, you know, timing can't be learned.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't think it can. You know, you have certain people, oh, okay, but okay, it wasn't funny. I mean, see, you laugh. But no, timing, poop. But I got into half hour. I never even saw myself in a half hour. And one of the first jobs I got was that, and then one thing just kind of parlayed. And to tell you the truth, the hours fit so well with what I was doing with AGC. And that's the God's honest truth. It was almost like banker's hours, you know, hit a critic, boom, pop, pop. You know, so I would always come back to theater for my foundational work and what I needed to do. So I'm always in a play, and I'm being fed that way. It feeds me artistically, and it feeds me spiritually too. So, very interesting.
And you've even done some Shakespeare as well.
Ooh, yes. How happy someone can be. Yes, yes, I have. I did Midsummer's Night Dream.
Right?
Yeah. Well, look at you. You did my stuff. So actually, that's how I got my equity card, and that was at Arena Stage in Washington, D.C.
Wow. You've done it all.
That was years ago. Years ago. It's time to get back to it. Yes.
You have done it all.
Yes.
So what would, I mean, you work with the kids and all, but if there was one key piece of advice that you would give a up-and-coming actor, what would that be?
To study, to train, to not take it personal with rejection, to remain humble, to not be complacent, you know, and to step outside of your box. If an opportunity is not there, then create it.
I see.
Create it. You never know who you're working with or working around. Interesting story, Mara Brock-Akil, who's the creator of the game. I met her years ago when she was a production assistant on the Sinbad show. That's how long ago it was. And she was answering phones, she was a stage PA. And I was like, what are you doing? I said, you know, I was talent working on the show, you know, just, you know, I'm a writer. I was like, yes, you are. I saw her for who she was. Years later, wow. She's Mara Brock-Akil,
Right.
And she's that writer. She always saw who she was, but she was like, she'll never forget that encounter that we had, and I'll never forget that. And you know, you just never know who is, and you can always learn from somebody. So that's the greatest part of advice I'd like to give.
Right. The next question would be, if you were to give advice to Wendy when she finished at Howard University, now, knowing what you know now and what you've gone through, what advice would you give to Wendy?
To not be afraid and to not shrink so that others don't feel inferior around you. And I say that to say sometimes we kind of dim our light because I don't want to, no, but it's okay. It's okay to be who I am. And I actually painted it on the wall in the acting room, to thine own self be true.
Right.
And when I say that I didn't compromise anything, but sometimes I didn't speak up or speak out as much as I want to. And that's even something that I'm working with now. You know what I mean? It's, so yeah, as I say, to even take more risk. You know, but if I look back over my life right now and my career, there are no regrets at all. You know, I've been very selective in the roles that I do and what I like to do and my brand and how I want to be perceived. But I take more chances. Yeah.
Okay. And what are you taking chances on now? What are you appearing in now?
You know, I have so much. I really tapped into this writing. I have like about 10 plays under my belt.
Really?
That I've developed here, at the school. And I want to take that to the next level in digital content and to having our own place, our own platform, our own YouTube, be it, you know, selling it to the different networks that I work with or whatever, but not being afraid. It's not up to the networks because we have the net worth right here. And so to use that content as a platform, not only for getting us out there, but it's also streams of income. So that's where I am right now with that.
And in terms of performance, I understand you've jumped onto the mayor.
Yes,
on ABC.
Yes, ABC. I was like, wow. Yes, so I have a nice little stint on that. I'm a recurring character. I play Crystal, and I'm Yvette Nicole Brown's best friend, and she's a dear heart, dear heart. Having a lot of fun.
Working with a mutual friend,
yes,
Marcel.
Marcel Spears, quite a talent. I really don't have any scenes with him because I work at the post office. I'm very blue collar, and he works with the mayor and the son. You know, so they keep those two worlds a little bit separate. But he's a wonderful, wonderful. Great energy. He's
Indeed,
a great guy.
yeah.
Great guy, yeah. Love to see him when he's around, yeah.
I like him a lot. And then there's something else you're doing, a Soulful Christmas.
Yes, a Soulful Christmas. That was the first Christmas show that Tracy Lamar Coley and I wrote together back in 1997. And so now we are revisiting it. It's a spin on Charles Dickens' A Christmas Tale. So you have him, and you have the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future, and Scrooge. There's a lot of parallels of Scrooge with someone who's in office right now. So we made it very present, very relevant,
very nice.
And the issues of the protesters and the picketers, and you know, seeing the past, present, and we even went as far as, you know, the future. It's not that far of a future. It's 2020.
Right.
And so what does that look like in the aftermath of where we are right now? So, you know, we have the Twitter, you see his tweets, all of that. So it's a very interesting spin. I'm really excited about it.
And you're putting a black aesthetic on it.
Well, we're putting an aesthetic on it, yes. Yes. It just happens to be colorful.
And you're doing it right down the street?
Right down the street at the Nate Holden Performing Arts Theater, December 9th and 10th.
All right. I'll be sitting right up front.
Yes, you will. You better get your ticket.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, hurry up.
I'm on it. I am on it.
Yes.
All right. So this has been quite wonderful.
Thank you.
You are fabulous.
Thank you.
You are Black excellence.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you.
And I just love what you're doing. I love the lives that you're touching.
You. Believe it or not, there's a little hint of selfishness because what I give the kids, they give it to me multiplied by thousands.
I hear you.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
My life is forever changed because of all of these little babies right here.
Wow.
When you walk through, it's just, I can't explain Amazing Grace. You just have to experience it.
Yeah. All right. And Theater Corner is forever changed.
I love it. I love being in your corners.
Thank you
fabulous,
so much.
Fabulous,
You're very
fabulous.
generous.
Thank you.
You're generous with your time. I really appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Understanding everything you're doing this weekend. Thank you again. Maybe you'll come back.
Maybe.
We'll get an update on what you're doing.
You need to come back. We do 3 shows a year. We're here and we're doing a huge expansion.
Okay,
So.
it's settled.
Thank you.
I'll be back. And,
thank you.
And thank you, viewers, for tuning in to another episode of Theater Corner. And we'll see you next time.